I'd like to discuss a little bit about coming up is the Chodesh Av, the 9 days. So I'd like to discuss a few points about the 9 days. And there's a few different halachas, and a lot of different halachas about the 9 days. But people have a tendency not to know, what's the halacha, what's the minig, where we're coming from, what the makor is. So I'd like to just start off from the beginning and then lead up to, we're not going to go through all the practical halacha l'maisis. They'd have to ask your rabbi, but just to have the background of where everything is coming from. So I'm going to put it into 3 different categories, the halachas that are negated to the 9 days. So it goes like this. First of all, the Mishnah says in Tainus, this is where everything comes from. Mishnah in Tainus says, Mishenichnes av ma'ata v'simcha. That's all it says in the Mishnah. Mishenichnes av ma'ata v'simcha. That's one thing. Then it says, Shabbos echal Tish B'av lias b'toicha. The week that Tish B'av is in that week, asam milasaper u'milechabes. You're not allowed to take haircuts. You're not allowed to wash clothing. That's the whole Mishnah. So there's 2 things. Mishenichnes av ma'ata v'simcha. So it's an obvious thing that something happens on Rosh Chodesh Av. Then the Mishnah says, and a different halacha, Shavua shechal Tish B'av lias b'seicha, also milasaper u'milechabes.
According to this, that means Sunday, if it's Tish B'av, on Shabbos you're not supposed to have, that's it.
Yeah, if Sunday is Tish B'av, it's
not Monday, that's it. It's only one day.
Like this year, that Tish B'av falls on a Tuesday, so Shavua shechal is only Sunday and Monday. The week beforehand, there's no Isser milasaper u'milechabes. According to the Mishnah, we'll see.
The Gemara.
We'll see what the halacha is. That's what the Mishnah says. Now the Mishnah doesn't elaborate. Mishenichnes av ma'ata v'simcha. What does that mean? It doesn't say anything. Mishenichnes av ma'ata v'simcha, and that's it. Then it says Shvuah shechal boy. You're not allowed to take a haircut. You're not allowed to wash. And in the Gemara also, you won't find anything about Mishenichnes av ma'ata v'simcha. What you find in the Gemara is, the Gemara says, Mishenichas av ma'ata v'simcha hilkach. Therefore, Bar Yisrael the islay dina b'hadei nachri, a Jew that has din Torah with a goy, what should he do? The stamet minei ba'av. He should push it off. He shouldn't do it during Av. The reya mazle. That's what the Gemara says. That's all it says on Mishenichas av ma'ata v'simcha. Then the Gemara goes into the halacha of shvuah shechal boy also milasaper u'milechabes.
This is only with the din Torah with the goy.
Din Torah with the goy. 2 Jews, you both have bad mazel, so.
They both should.
You both have bad mazel. The question is, his bad mazel is going to help you, or your bad mazel is going to help him, but the sense of the Gemara says, Hilchach Bar Yisrael, the Islay Dina, Padanach L'shtamet Minei Ba'av, the Rei Mazle. Now here is an interesting shayla. Here it says that in Chodesh Av, you should stay away from a din Torah with a goy, the Rei Mazle. It's a bad mazel. What does it mean it's a bad mazel? Is it a bad mazel because the month of Av is a bad mazel? It says in the Mishnah, Mishenichas Av ma'ata b'simcha. That ma'ata b'simcha goes till when? It's not a whole month.
No, it's only till you.
Till Tish B'av. Till Tish B'av, till Chatzos of Yud. It doesn't say a whole month. It says the Gemara Hilkach, Bar Yisrael should stay away from a guy with the din Torah in Av.
2 B'av is supposed to be a simcha to get time.
2 B'av is a happy day. So, is it the whole month or is it till Tish B'av? So this is a machlokes in the Rishonim. Tish says a lashon over here. Hilkach Chai Bar Yisrael the Islay Din LeBahad Nochi L'Shtamit Pirish Mishum the Omar Le'el Megalgal L'Chayva L'Yoyim HaChayiv. Megalgal L'Chayv means you put out a chayiv on a day that's chayiv. Megalgal L'Chayv L'Yoyim HaChayiv. A bad day has bad things happening on it. So as far as we know, the days that are set aside for tzaris are from Chodesh Av till Tish B'av. After that, we don't know anything more days in Av that are set aside for tzaris. Just till Tish B'av is a problem. So a lot of the Achronim want to be medayek from here that the whole din of Reya Mazle is Mishenichas Av till after Tish B'av. That's Reya Mazle. You want to go to din Torah with a guy later on after Tish B'av, you could go. Some Rishonim say no. It says in the Gemara, The Islay Dinim Hadinach the Stam Minei Ba'av. Av means the whole Chodesh Av. So you have your little steam in the Gemara. Why? Because the Gemara says Ba'av and the Chodesh Av, you should stay away. But the Gemara says Omer Apopo and the Korban Etzalas Badayat Lashon Hilkoch. Therefore, Mishnechas Av Ma'atim B'Simcha Hilkoch. Therefore, don't go to a dentera with a guy. That means it's dependent in the Mishnechas Av Ma'atim B'Simcha. Therefore, don't have a dentera with a guy. So that Mishnechas Av Ma'atim B'Simcha we said stops by Tish B'Av. So if it's an outcome of the Mishnechas Av Ma'atim B'Simcha, then we should say whatever Mishnechas Av Ma'atim B'Simcha is, till then you have the din of Reya Mazlei. After that, not. That's a challenge. That's a challenge.
Is it possible that the mazalas are shalit over us in a way that it's a month by month kind of a thing?
Yeah. So
you can't say that mazal is bad for part of a month.
Right. So the question: what does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? Reya Mazla here. Tish says doesn't say because the mazal of is bad. This says because megalgal chayv the yom shechayiv. Right. That's the Rabbi from. Yeah, question what the Gemara means Reya Mazle. Does the Gemara mean Reya Mazle meaning because the mazolas are bad, or means Reya Mazle? Some Acharonim want to say Reya Mazle means that since a person is downtrodden in those days, so a person is down, he doesn't have the koiches to fight. He doesn't have the koiches to do what he has to do. When a person is sad,
the question I think that's being asked is: did the event of the spies happen because the mazel was bad, or did the mazel become bad?
No. So that we don't see. That we don't see that the mazel was bad. You want to say that the mazel of Av was bad away from Sheshmei Bereshis. That we don't find.
Right.
That we don't find. And I says Reya Mazlei. So the Chacham doesn't mean the mazel of Av is bad. It means those days aren't meant for good things to happen. Not the mazel like we're learning the mazolis.
If the mazolis were bad, then what's his name? Haman would have found it with all the garbage that he went through.
Right.
He was looking for a year.
Av was a bad mazel.
He would have definitely found with all the kishuv he did. He looked for the month.
Oh, Haman would have found.
He would have found that there was a month that what was the worst month for the Jews. He would have found Av. He didn't.
And more than that, the Chayim have a kash over here. They say that the Gemara says a Reya Mazle. The Gemara says in a few places that Yisrael aren't tachas memshalas hamazolis. The Klal Yisrael is higher than the mazolis. They don't get affected by the mazolis. So then they ask,
but
which mazel?
We shouldn't go to court.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's not because of the mazolis. It doesn't mean because of the mazolis, meaning the
celestial bodies, whatever.
Correct. It doesn't mean that.
Yeah.
It means mazel means when you say something you should have mazel. What is mazel? You should have the right mazolis. Doesn't mean that. You should have good luck. Right? And in the Av,
sign of mind is not ready because you're sad.
So a lot of Achayim want to learn. Reya Mazda means because since it's a bad day for Klal Yisrael, a bad few days for Klal Yisrael, different people don't have the koyach to fight a Goyish Din Torah. Whatever it is, they all try to avoid to say that it doesn't mean really the mazolis. Because once you're going into the mazolis, they have a lot of questions. It should be the whole Chodesh Av, and they have another question. We know Klal Yisrael isn't affected by mazolis. A lot of questions they have. So let's learn Reya Mazla. Like Tosa says, Megalglin Chayva Liyem Achayiv. Megalglin Chayva Liyem Achayiv is not mazolis. It's a day. The reason why Tish B'Av has so many tzaras is because by Shatzman Raglim, it happened on Tish B'Av. So that's why, make craft for Deiris. So that's why it's a bad day, not because of the mazolis.
Is there any instruction about during the period of Shoshim, Shiv and Shoshim, about similar things? Because the fight goes out of a person at that time too, right?
Yeah, so it doesn't say that. It doesn't say you shouldn't have a din.
It doesn't say that.
Not that I know of.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's personal. This is a public.
Yeah, this is a public thing. Yeah. So it says right.
No, but the logic is the same.
Right.
You don't have the energy.
But Hashem says that
why don't you have the energy at Tish B'Av? Because you're mourning.
That's why. This is what Hashem says. Those days you will be paying for it. For what the Meraglim did, we're paying for it.
Maybe that's why a person is
paying for that price of those days.
Personal sorrow.
It's two different things.
It's the exact same
thing. We don't have the energy for the fight.
Why not? Not because they have a personal.
Because we're mourning for the loss of that.
Yeah. So if it's a personal loss, maybe it's different than the loss of a Beis Hamikdash. Okay. So in halacha it's brought down that you shouldn't have a din with a goy And the Magen Avram says that you should stay away ad Rosh Chodesh Elul. It should be the whole month. Ad Rosh Chodesh Elul, and the Mishmur throws in Val Kol Panim ad Achar Tisha B'Av, at least till after Tisha B'Av. Why? Because after Tisha B'Av, everyone agrees that you have this issue of Reya Mazda. The Shaila is after Tisha B'Av, does it continue to happen or not? The mice after Tisha B'Av, we know it's we make Shabbos Nachamu, we start with Nechama, and it's the opposite. But some Acharim want to say, and it's a Rishon, I think the Magen Avram brings down Ben Yeruchim, if I'm not mistaken, that says it's the whole Chodesh Elul. If a person has a thing with a whole Chodesh Av, I mean, till Elul. But a lot of people will say it's till after Tisha B'Av, after that you're okay. So this is the mission.
The Kitzur we just learned says Kol Chodesh
Elul Av.
But then he says, he brings down what you just said. But if you can, you should do it just until...
Kol Tisha B'Av. Yeah. Okay, very good.
It sounds like he prefers the whole month.
Yeah. Better to be the whole month, but if not, then the main problem is Slav Tisha B'Av.
It's not consistent though, because if it's the whole month, then you have to be talking about results.
Right. But that's why a lot of
people in the middle of it.
Right. That's why a lot of people say it doesn't mean the whole month.
Yeah.
Because we're not talking about the Mazolos Hashemar. We're talking about luck.
Right.
Mazel has two explanations. Mazel can mean luck, and Mazel can mean the Mazolos. So that's Mishnechas Av Ma'atim V'Simcha, till after Tisha B'Av for sure, and maybe the Ma'atim V'Simcha is definitely till after Tisha B'Av. Now the question is, we see one thing in the Gemara of Mishnechas Av Ma'atim V'Simcha, Hilkach, therefore someone that has a Din Torah should push it off till afterwards. But what does it mean Mishnechas Av Ma'atim V'Simcha? Right, the Sfardim, Pascal, like the Gemara says, that only Shvuah Shechalboi is Asam Alechabes Ulasaper. We have Shkenazim, the minig is from Chodesh Av. What does it mean according to the Sfardim? They also have an halacha from Chodesh Av Ma'atim Simcha. What is that?
That's from Tammuz.
No, not Asam Alechabes. Ulasaper maybe Hekos, but the washing is only from Chodesh Av. So the halacha is, the Gemara doesn't say anything, but there's a Gemara beforehand by Tanyas, when they had Tanyas because they used to fast for rain. Now, if it was raining, you were fine. If it didn't rain, they had one Tanyas to another Tanyas. If it didn't rain for a long time, then they would go to Tanyas and the Ma'atim V'Simcha. And the Gemara says over there, so what do? So the Gemara says, Ma'atim B'Masa U'B'Matin U'B'Binyan U'B'Natiyah. That Mishnichas Av, Ma'atim V'Simcha means what? Your Ma'atim B'Masa U'Matin, B'Binyan U'B'Natiyah. Business, building, and planting. Those are the three things it says. Now what does that mean? Tana, B'Binyan, Binyan Shal Simcha. Natiyah and Natiyah Shal Simcha. What type of binyan can't you build? A building for happiness. A Natiyah Shal Simcha. And a planting for happiness. For example, Ezo Binyan Shal Simcha, Zeh Boina Beis Chasnos Labenoi. A Chassan for his son. Ezo Natiyah Shal Simcha, Zeh Natiyah Varnaki Shal Malachim. His flowers, trees for the king's palace. They had these big fancy gardens. So when it says Mishnichas Av Ma'atim Simcha, what does it mean? It means Ma'atim B'Maso Matin. You don't build binyonim of Simcha, and you don't plant plantings of Simcha. And that's the way we pass him.
Does that mean personal planning is okay? If someone decides to buy some flowers?
Oh, we'll see personal planting in a second. We'll get to that. Rish Chodesh at the Tainis. This is the Machaber. Everyone agrees to this. B'Matim B'Maso B'Matim B'Binyan Shal Simcha V'Goyin Beis Chasnos Lavenoi B'Binyan Shal Tzior V'Kior, even in your house, U'B'Natiyah Shal Simcha V'Varkin Shal Malachim. So this is also from Rish Chodesh Av for everybody. Now what does it mean practically? What does it mean? B'Matim B'Maso Matin, B'Matim B'Binyan, B'Matim B'Natiyah. So like you said, planting, you're not allowed to plant things for happiness. Meaning, so
pleasure. Pleasure.
Most things we plant today in our house,
pleasure.
Flowers are pleasure. So if you want to go planting after Rosh Chodesh Av, you want to start planting your garden, you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to plant flowers in your garden after Rosh Chodesh Av. That's Natiyah Shel Simcha. It's not necessary. You don't need it. You're doing it only because it looks nice. Then you're not allowed to. Upkeep is something else. You already planted and you're watering it to take out the weeds, this type of things you're allowed to do. Why? Because it's already hefsid. That's, if you don't take care of it, it's going to get ruined. That's something else. That's hefsid. Binyan shel simcha says by schaslas levnoi.
Can you plant things that are food, like vegetables?
Food you can plant, because that's not shel simcha.
Pleasure.
It's not pleasure. Anything
Depends who. On Italians it is. Food is a very big pleasure. Tomatoes and the cucumbers, they don't stop
but
talking
it's a
about
necessity to have it.
Yes, it is a necessity.
They're not planting it for tomatoes, they're planting it for simcha. Same thing as a binyan. You're not allowed to build something for simcha.
But if you already started it, you're allowed to continue.
What, binyan?
Yeah,
So
let's say
see.
someone started the construction.
So we'll see what does it mean in the house? First, let's see if it's an issa b'chal to build the house. So you're not allowed to build binyan shel simcha, it says. But anything you need to live, you're allowed to build. If someone's living in his house and he needs more room, he wants to do construction because he needs more room, he's allowed to build, to add more room. That's for not shel simcha. It's a necessity. Then you can say, what's called a necessity? You have a 5-bedroom house. You want to build a 10-bedroom house. Is that called a necessity? So that's a very good question. But anything that you're building because you need room to eat, to drink, to sleep, let's say, that's called lavacha ba'alma. But if you're building yourself a deck is for pleasure. Sit outside at the back and enjoy yourself. That's already not called a necessity. That you don't call havacha. Anything that's a necessity, need to live. That's called harvacha, to build, to extend.
So painting would be the same thing.
So painting, it depends. Usually painting is for niceness. You don't need it to live.
Right.
But if something, but the person would say something that's ruined, let's say, right? And you have to fix it. Then you could fix it, paint it, and you're okay. But if this the painting is not so nice, you want to make it nicer, that's awesome. Most people are going to ask for that because that is just for niceness. You don't need it to live. You don't need it to live. Painting is going to be awesome.
If it's part of finishing a renovation, you need an extra bedroom.
Right.
So you can build the bedroom because you need the room.
So, Christian, once you started,
you paint the room.
right? So once you started, if you're not finished, is another question. A lot of people say, don't. You should stop. You should put it on hold till after. There is a heter that if you hire somebody to do something.
They can't do it. They can't stop. They have a contract.
Right. It's like if you hire somebody to do something for you, and you hired him 2 months ago, and he didn't finish the job yet, you thought for 9 days, don't do it now. He doesn't have to listen to you because he's called a kabbalah. You hired him to do something. He has to finish the job. It's his problem to finish the job. He happens to be doing it in the 9 days. Fine. You shouldn't hire him in the 9 days, maybe, to do it for you. So if you hire him earlier and he's doing it during the 9 days, then you're okay. But the klal is, this is called mamate b'simcha. You can't do things that make you happy, which is planting, building things that make you happy. You can't do it. That's 2 things. The third thing is mekach hamemker, business. You're not allowed to do business. Now it doesn't say shel simcha. It says that mekach hamemker is also. Mamate b'mekach hamemker it says. It doesn't say shel simcha. It says by binyan it says simcha. And by Netiyah it says Shal Simcha. How about Mekach HaMemker? It doesn't say anything about Simcha. So here's a machlokes in the Rishonim. What does it mean, Ma'ativ Mekach HaMemker? Does it mean all types of Mekach HaMemker or just Shal Simcha? So in Halacha it's brought down that you should be a Ma'ativ Mekach HaMemker. Yesh min ha-paisuk l'sfir lehem d'hainu shel ha-yisa b'mekach ha-memker shel simcha. This is a Ran. The Ran Tish also says it that the same way binyan and a T is only shel simcha, mekach ha-memker only is shel simcha. We'll see what simcha means in a second. Kegoin liknois kli kesef, to go buy silver kalim. Oy tzarchei chuppah chadayma. That's called mekach ha-memker shel simcha. You're buying stuff for pleasure. The
Chassan Kala can go shopping during the 9 days.
The Chassan Kala should not go shopping.
Yeah, should not be shopping.
Should not be shopping during the 9 days. Yeah.
Should not be shopping during the 9 days.
That's called business?
So, Mekach HaMemker doesn't only mean business, it means buying things also. Not just business. It means even just buying things that are for pleasure, you're not allowed to buy it.
So, what about your own business, though?
So, your own business is also a question. That's another thing. So, now he's talking about to buy things. I will stop Mekach HaMemker ain't tzarech l'mayit klal. ויש לספיר לדכל מקח וממכר צורך למית ולא יעסק אלא כדי פרנסוסי. A person should only do what he needs for Parnasa for those 9 days. If you make extra money, you shouldn't do it during the 9 days. Any type of business you have to slow down during the 9 days.
But if you do come across a bargain, you're allowed to buy it.
Baruch and who you read, that David Ovid, sorry. If it's a hefsid, if it's a sale, then you can buy it during the 9 days. Was a neinu nahagu lahalka b'cholzeh, b'shem nahakol nechshav ke'etz k'dei panas haseinu. Today we'll make it because everything today is called k'dei panasa. You stop working for 10 days, you may lose customers. Yeah. You take a break now for 10 days. I'm not working now for 10 days. You lose half your customers.
What if you work a little bit less? Couldn't you time this?
Yeah.
So I work 1 hour less.
So that's definitely a very good idea. Some people do that. It says the Ma'aseh Halacha says that today you don't have to mind in your kedei panasasai. You don't have to mind in your business because today everything is called what we need to live on. But there are some people talking that say make some type of hecker. Kedei panasasai, take off an hour because of that. But it depends what you can do in that hour. In that hour, you go ahead and have a good time, not remember the Churban. So it's basically a vacation. Yeah. If in that hour you're going to do something to remember the Churban, so that's why, and there's the place we bring down that
to work.
There's certain places that had a minute not to work at all during the 9 days. And they said to Mavatal that minute. Because nothing good came out of it. You take a whole bunch of people and they shouldn't work for 9 days, they're not going to remember the Beis HaMikdash. They're going to be in the cottage, they're going to be, whatever they're going to be, it's not going to help. So it's better to work. If you can mind a little bit, to remember that you're supposed to be married to Panasasai, but in that hour, don't just take it a vacation, do something to remember the Churban, then it's okay. Then it should be done. Could be done.
Are you allowed to say Shachianu during the minute?
Oh no. So we'll get to that. So then that's the panasa of your business, of what you're doing business wise. So if anybody is continuing business regular, they have a yesham elismoich, which Baruch says today you continue business as regular. You don't have to take off any time from business. That's all business. How about buying things? It's also called mekach hamemker, to buy kli kesef, to buy new things. So the klal is to buy new things. For that we don't have heter. For that we don't have, the only heter is because kedei panasasa. Today everything is called your panasa, and you don't want to stop it. Right. But to go buy new things, that's not called your panasa. Therefore, there's no heter to go ahead and buy new things.
What did you say about things are on sale?
Oh, we'll get to that second.
Anything
to buy. So he says klei kesef. Now, what does it mean klei kesef? What's called buying something new? Some people give a geder shechayanu. Anything you make a shechayanu on it, even though today we don't make a shechayanu on anything to buy, but still something that makes you happy. And they give examples.
New couch, new car.
Yeah, new furniture, a new car for sure, new appliances. Any of these things are called mekach or mekach shel simcha. Right? You buy stuff you need on a daily basis. It's not called mekach or mekach shel simcha. But if you buy something you don't buy often.
If the washing machine breaks, that's not a simcha.
So one second. So 1 second. So if the washing machine breaks, right, you have to buy a new one. Everyone agrees you're allowed to do that.
Because it's not a simcha.
You're
losing money.
Right, the same you're allowed to fix something that breaks. If something broken, you have to replace it, then you're allowed to do. That's kedei tzarcha, that you need. But if, let's say, it's time to get a new washing machine or a new refrigerator, you want to buy a nice one, your old one is still working, don't buy a new one. If there's a sale, then the Mishnah Berurah says, the v'rakim hu yirid. It's a sale, meaning, and you get it for cheaper, and you have a hefsid. If you don't buy it now, then there's heter to buy it now.
But you can't use it. But you can't use it. You could buy it, but you can't use it.
Some people say you should.
Well, why would you?
You need a new screwdriver or something.
No, that's fine. That's not called. It's not called mekach hameker.
The kitchen or something like
that's
that.
not called mekach hameker shel simcha.
That's not.
It's not called shel simcha. Minor things are not called shel simcha. It has to be something that when you buy it. No, I don't think it's called shel simcha.
Well, for the kids, yeah.
Anyway, you gotta keep the kids busy, right? That's a necessity.
Okay.
Right?
They could use the old toys.
Yeah, but the old toys last for 2 days, and then they become, they get stacked on the top shelf.
What is Mr. Berurah's source for that if it's on sale you can buy it?
This is a quarter source.
Because you're losing money.
And he has it.
I want to know what
It means a
his
prima godim.
Yeah, it's the same halacha also by the.
He brings the prima godim. He brings the prima godim. But it makes sense because the only thing is simcha not allowed to buy. If I'm doing it, the same thing with a house, right? You're not allowed to go ahead if you have room in your house, right? You're not allowed to just go extend it during the 9 days or do something just for simcha. But if it's a necessity, you're allowed to do it. So anything that's a necessity,
bathroom breaks.
anything that's a necessity, you're allowed to do. So that's probably where it comes from. If it breaks, you're allowed to buy a new one.
Right.
Now, if it's a hefsid, it doesn't say you have to lose money during the 9 days. You can't do something called simcha during the 9 days. But if it's a hefsid, you lose off it, then already you have a heter. I'm not doing it because of the simcha. I'm doing it because of the loss of money. If you're doing it for other reason, not for simcha, you're allowed to do it. So these are all things that are also from Rosh Chodesh Av. Nichnas Av B'Mata B'Simcha. What does that mean? That's these 3 things: Mekach, buying new things, building a house, and a tia, planting. Planting should be done during the 9 days. Now, that's all Rosh Chodesh. Everyone agrees to this. Ashkenazim, Sfaradim, everyone agrees to that. So another halacha, they're now allowed to wash clothing or take haircuts b'shavua shechal boy. That's the Gemara. Shavua shechal boy, you're not allowed to take haircuts and wash clothing. So on haircuts already, it says in the Gemara, Wundai from Shavasa B'Tammuz. And then on washing clothing, it says already, we're noying Rosh Chodesh. We're on noying l'hachma b'chol mit chil Rosh Chodesh ad achar tainas. Im loy l'tzarech mitzvah, then you're allowed to do it. So now there's a new halacha, washing clothing, which is the only thing that's really negated to us, because haircuts anyway we don't do from Shavasa B'Tammuz. The only thing that's negated to us from Rosh Chodesh Av or Shavuot Shachal, according to the Sfaradim, is washing.
But washing clothes, if you have children and you need lots of
okay, we'll get to that. We'll get to the Tatum. I first want to put down the facts, and then we'll get to the Tatum.
The Sfaradim holds only the weekend.
There is. The
Sfaradim holds Shavuot Shachal, but that's it.
Right.
The Sfaradim will wash clothing lechatchila up to Shavuot Shachal. That's what the Machar Paskins, and not just that. That's how the Gemara brings it down. The Gemara doesn't bring anything down washing from Rosh Chodesh Av. The only thing the Gemara brings down from Rosh Chodesh Av is Nichnas Av Mata B'Simcha. That means these 3 things: binyan, the tia, and maso matin. We Ashkenazim have a chumrah to go back. And why am I stressing this for? There's a very interesting Lecha Mishnah. The Rambam, when he brings down Nichnas Av Mata B'Simcha, he doesn't specify what. It doesn't say the tia, binyan. It doesn't say it. When it comes time for a Shavuot Shachal Boy, he says, Asa L'Chabes. It specifies what you're not allowed to do, Shavuot Shachal Boy. And they ask him, why doesn't it specify, what does it mean? It doesn't specify it. And the truth is, the Gemara doesn't specify it. Like I said before, it doesn't say in the Gemara what it is. We only know these 3 things because we take the Gemara by tinus for rain, and there it says you have to ma'atim b'simcha, and it means these 3 things, so we apply it to here also. It says in Lecha Mishnah that those 3 things, that the Ram doesn't bring it down because that's not an isser. It says Mishnichas Av Ma'atim B'Simcha, it says you have to be ma'atim b'simcha. We today took it from there, and we say it means these 3 things. It's not an isser to do these 3 things. He calls it more like a minig, to not to do these 3 things from Rosh Chodesh Av. The isser kvisa is an isser. The Gemara says it's also l'chabe. It's not allowed to clean things in the 9 days or Shavuot Shachal Boy. So there's a big difference between the 2 things. For Rosh Chodesh Av, these 2 things are ma'atim b'simcha. Maybe if you want to find some leniencies, if it's a shasat chak, it could be makel sometimes. When it comes time to kvisa, it's much different. Kvisa, the Gemara says, is also l'chabe. It's not allowed to clean your clothing in these days. You're not allowed to clean yourself. You're not allowed to clean your clothing in these days. Which days? Shavuot Shachal Boy. So now, Shavuot Shachal Boy is very chamerdik. Because it's a Gemara, it's an Isser. The fact that we go back to Rosh Chodesh, that's the meaning of the Ashkenazim, then on that maybe it could be Mekel. On that maybe it could be Mekel in certain situations. But a lot of places that are going to paskin, when they could be Mekel for Kvisa, they'll make a big difference between Rosh Chodesh Av and Shavuot Shachal Boy. Because Shavuot Shachal Boy is the Gemara says also, you're not allowed to.
Wow.
It's an Isser. So you have to understand, we're dealing with 2 different things.
That's how you can make a l'chaim during the 9 days. I can understand. The thing, first of all, you just said, because it's not an isser. It's a minhag.
No, the
Second,
chai,
the reason for that-
you mean the chai
the-
for someone gets engaged?
The reason why they make it, if it's the Rav
Shemikhet Menu.
asking, only because he could, someone can snatch the
Shemikhet ben
girl.
Acha, yeah. But see, those things are all a minhag, so you could find leniencies on those things. But when it comes time to kfisa and rechitza, these things are an issue. So it's a whole different thing. It's a whole different thing. You find it out, it's very, very makbid, during, especially in Shavuot Chalboy, on kfisa and rechitza. But I'll tell you, maybe in Gay Binyan he'll be makel. Right? Maybe in Binyan he'll be makel. You're building a house and it's Noi, let's say for Noi Ba'alma, where your garden is coming and it couldn't come earlier, and he's only going to do it during the 9 days, even during Shavuot Chalboy, he may be makel over there, because that's only a minute. We'll find, I'm not saying he is going to be makel, but when it comes time to Kfisa and Rechitza, it's a whole different thing. It's an Isser, Shavuot Chalboy. Before Shavuot Chalboy is already a minute of the Ashkenazim. So we have two different halachas. One halacha is Mishnichas Avamaita B'Simcha. That is those three things. Afterwards, Shavuot Chalboy is an Isser Kibbutz and an Isser Rechitza. And then there's another halacha. A third thing. I'll tell you three different halachas. Mishnichas Av is the binyan. Then you have Kvisa and Rechitza. And then you have a third thing of Shtiyas Yain and Achilas Basar. That's everything. Also, Noyagin, not to eat basar and drink wine. Also not as chomerdik as Kvisa and Rechitza. Also not as chomerdik. We'll get to that. We'll see why.
Taking in is more pleasure than washing yourself.
Huh?
Taking in is less pleasure than washing
It's
yourself.
more of an Isser. It's more of an Isser. Yes, noihagin shlalecha basar v'lishnas yaim b'shabazu. It's a minig. Yes, noihagin, not Isser. So it's a big difference. Something a matter, achilas basar. Like I remember there was people make siyumim, right? In the 9 days. When it's Isser to eat basar, even though a matter by Sudas mitzvah, but who says if we find leniencies? I remember in camps they used to make
Every day.
every day, and so much to see him. And the truth is, Allah says that you can't just make a siyum for anybody. It has to be people very close to you, and we invite anyway to the siyum.
Right.
And now we have this leniency in camps that so much to see him. We have no idea who this person is. 800 close friends, right? And this boy is probably in a fight with half of the other camps. But he's making a siyum, they're coming to his siyum. Right? How does that work? Because they'll find leniencies in Achilas Basar. And the reason is because to make milchiks every single day for the whole camp is very, very hard. Maybe it's almost impossible.
But they have it at restaurants.
Why, milchiks?
No, that they have a siyum every night. In New York.
They do?
Never seen her.
No, that I don't know about that.
Well, otherwise they would have to close
Most
down.
room places,
So
they're
close
closed.
down. Close down.
Actually, there are one people who keep the halacha very good. They close down. The fleshig restaurants, they close down for the 9 days.
That's when they take
No,
off.
That's the vacation time.
That's already a much bigger.
That I never heard of
yeah.
making siyum. Oh my God.
Yeah. In camps,
Restaurants in New York, most of them are open.
They're open, but they don't make
Yeah?
siyumim. It's up to you.
Well, okay.
Listen, there is a Treifel restaurant right now in the plaza. It's up to you if you want to go there or not.
Don't compare those to kosher restaurants.
No, that's a big
You
Kiddush
could
meat.
eat meat if you're sick. Your doctor says.
Yeah. People have a table to eat
People
meat.
could eat
Yeah.
meat.
Or Goyim can go in and eat meat.
Yeah.
You don't have to close your doors
You
a certain
don't have to close it down.
Yeah. No, the problem is if you open and the fry Yidden come and eat meat,
Aren't you required
I'm a flavor.
These are the right.
Aren't you required to mention that it's a 9 days
But you said it's only
Two.
for
a
people to come in?
Yeah, so the question is the flavor. The question is if you're over, you'll be helping people doing a vera.
You just said it's a minhag though.
So even in a minute, maybe in a minute you have a flavor
There
also.
as well on a
Yeah.
minhag.
Have a 9-day menu.
If everyone accepts the minute, if everyone accepts the minute,
But the Rav doesn't keep any halachas. What does he accept? He accepts
okay, but it's still wrong. Klai Yisrael has that minute. You can't go against the minute. If a minute against Klai Yisrael accepted, you can't say I'm not keeping to that minute.
not keeping anything else.
Yeah, you're right. So you add it to the pickle, but no, the restaurants have a siyum. That's a big chiddush.
By the way, it's an issue of meat. It's not an issue of the kalim, right? It's not an issue of what's cooked in.
no.
It's actually mamash.
No, eating meat. Yeah, you're allowed to eat, not just that. Even a tafshel shel basar, you're allowed to eat. Chicken soup is no question why you can't eat chicken soup.
With chicken pieces in it, or
They take the chicken soup today. Today, most of the chicken soups are clear, very clear.
right.
They put all the vegetables and the chicken in a net.
Yeah.
And they cook it and they take it out. So they want it to be nice and clear. They want little pieces inside. Those chicken
So
soups.
you can have.
Yeah, you can have it. It's a tafshel shabasa. It's not basa itself. Tafshel you're allowed to eat.
Kidding. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a new way, right?
That is a new one.
Or a challenge you could eat, just don't eat the meat.
On Shabbos,
Yes,
there's
Mish, I Mish,
there's no
and
halakha
I
on
like to like a
Shabbos.
basa b'yaveh
Shabbos
elu.
is not
Shabbos you can
Shabbos
have.
is
I'm talking about a challenge on...
Oh.
During the week.
A leftover challenge. You know,
Leftover?
if there's no meat in there, you're seeing the potatoes.
Yeah.
It could be you could do it. Yeah,
Oh, that's there.
Yeah.
You're not eating the meat.
I agree. It's possible you're allowed to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you mean, according to you, you could put a bag in there and take it out?
It's
The
sure.
same
Yeah,
idea as the soup.
Yeah, 100%. Then you can eat it.
You put it on,
Tafshel
you
shabasa
put it
is
on the
fine.
side and eat it on Shabbos. I'm sure
Yeah.
the meat's good.
Yeah, it's only to eat meat and to drink wine you're not allowed to. But tafshel shabasa, יש מי שאומר שהנהגים של לאכול בשר ביום הנזכר מותרים בתפשל שנזבש by בשר.
How come grape juice is considered like wine?
It would be a tafshel. Add a lot of water.
So the Mishnah brings down the Maisa tafshel basa we should aser. Okay, it depends on different cases over here.
Oh,
We'll see. Chicken soup is a
be a
question.
question.
I'll hold on.
Hold on to the chicken soup. Hold on to the chicken soup.
Don't go to your wife. I'll give me the ideas now.
Chunky chicken soup.
Yeah, but no, to make a steam and to have that anyone that comes in that should eat meat is a big chiddush to me. In camps, I remember when they came out with the cooler in camps, it was a big shadow, but it was to have some ruba. It wasn't just they were matter to make a steam for everybody.
Yeah.
But the reason why they could have been making, because that's only a minute. But to go ahead and to matter
Also by-
kfisa.
By simcha, you're allowed to have meat, right? By bris.
Simcha, by bris, allowed meat.
bar mitzvah.
Yeah, by mitzvah, but these things, even it says on halacha, you want to invite 10 people maybe, and the closest people are makel. I'm saying the reason why people are makel, and there are coolers, places are makel, but in the achil is possible yayin, is because that's noyagin. But an isser on kfis and rechitz is a whole different thing. That's an isser. It's much harder to be makel. The reason why they're makel for kids is because it's soiled clothing, and they have nothing else. You can't put them on the soiled clothing. And they get ruined, they have said, yeah, that's why there are coolers. But Stamazai to be makel, to wear fresh clothing during the 9 days, it's not so easy. It's not so easy. That's what we'll see next week in Mitzvah, what the coolers are, what the chumras are, in Kfisa and Rechitza. But it's good to know the 3 klolim. Mishanichnas Av, Memayta, Besimcha, is those 3 things, Binyan, Netiya, and Mekach HaMemker. Rechitza and Kfisa is Shvur Shechalboy. Ashkenaz, take it back a little bit, and then more Machar from Rosh Chodesh. And then you have Achilas Basa V'Yayin.
Rechitza, meaning
Washing yourself.
washing myself.
Yeah, and Kfisa is washing
From
Rosh Chodesh.
Rosh Chodesh?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's 10 days.
yeah, from Rosh Chodesh.
That's almost impossible.
Okay,
In
we'll
this
see.
weather.
We'll speak about it next week. Next week.
Cold challenge?
Rosh Chodesh is Monday, right?
Oh, cold doesn't count?
Rosh Chodesh is Monday. So Tuesday we'll speak about it.
You're only 1 day.
Yeah, Rosh Chodesh is Monday. We'll speak about it Tuesday.
Make sure you take a shower Sunday night. Sunday before you get started.
It says in the 9 days you're not supposed to wash stuff, right? Everyone that starts the 9 days, everyone has fresh clothing, freshly bathed, right? That's what it is.
Yeah,
So you
absolutely.
want to do it right beforehand. So everything is fresh. It's not the 9 days, everything is fresh. It shouldn't be that way.
Yeah.
During the 9 days, you're not supposed to have fresh things.
But it's the beginning of the night.
Yeah, right. That's the way it
Call it
is.
Rosh Chodesh, you wear everything good.
I always make a joke to my wife. I know everything's been clean at the beginning of the 9 days.
But isn't... Maybe I'm confused here, but the requirement not to wash things during the 9 days...
Not to wash things also.
Yeah, not to
That's
wear
what I'm saying,
laundered clothes.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. The requirement not to wash is so that you won't wear freshly washed clothes.
right.
Right,
No,
that's
it's
the
2
reason
things.
why.
No, it's 2 things. We'll see next week.
So
2 things.
on the first day, you shouldn't be wearing a freshly washed clothes.
100% no, you shouldn't. But the way it goes is, we take our shirts, we put them out 5 minutes, take it off, put another one.
Right.
Linen, right? You change the linen beforehand,
Right.
and you sleep in for a couple of minutes. Okay, it's not fresh linen anymore. But to me and you, it's pretty fresh, right? We do that because we have no eitzah.